And just like that, we're back in part 2. All praises to the Most High YAHAWAH, the Heavenly Father, in the name of the Holy Spirit, the Earthly Mother, sanctifying YAHAWAH, the Holy Son. Brothers and sisters, this is part 2 of the Fiery Conflagration series. I'm probably gonna end up in 3 or 4 parts. Okay. I'm probably going to name them different things, okay? I'm not gonna say part 1 and part 2, part 4. I'm gonna name them different things because, well, technically they are different things. Now, brothers and sisters, let's go ahead and see what this dude's saying, and let's go ahead and filter it to the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. All right, let's go.
Discontentment. It's all about frustration, of course.
Contentment and frustration. Oh boy, let's define those words. Contentment and frustration. Brothers and sisters, we do this all the time. Define contempt.
Here's the definition of contempt: the feeling that a person or a thing is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn.
Scorn, disdain, disrespect, disregard, slighted, neglect, contumacy. I believe that's the first time I heard this word, contumacy. You know what? As a matter of fact, let me use this fellow as the thumbnail right there. Thumbnail number 2. I will use it. Thumbnail number 2, and then I will use this guy as thumbnail number 3. Oh, number 2. Should I say number 1 for the first one? And I will use this. Nope. All right, this guy for thumbnail number 1. I'm probably gonna have another one. Nah. Let's see. No, I'm good like this. I'm good. All right, brothers and sisters. Contempt. And what was the next word that dude said?
Jamel Robinson is the senior pastor. He says he was called a week and a half ago when his church building was set on fire. Authorities believe it was arson.
It was acknowledged that someone deliberately and intentionally set our building on fire.
Brothers and sisters, when you see things like that happen, when they say somebody intentionally set things on fire in those churches, know this: those guys, they could deal with all sort of demon. You don't know what this guy did. You don't know what happened. Most likely swagger jack somebody some money, and then that's revenge right there. Or the Father sent Debariel, the angel of fire, doing her work. Don't listen to those guys that keep saying it was arson and stuff. Those guys got demon, and those demons, they're asking for the payback, the money, the big payback. Your bill is due, Negro. All right, I believe we got enough of this dude. Let's take the next step, the next video. Okay, this one happened.
The Catholic Church in the United States experienced a series of attacks this weekend all over the country.
That was a while ago. When was that? That was in let's see what's the date that was. That was in July 2020, okay? Not that long ago, okay? So now, the Catholic churches, the priesthood of Mahan, okay, this is the main churches, they were getting a lot of hell. People were burning those churches up and down.
The Archdiocese of Los Angeles saw a fire in an 18th century mission church, San Gabriel, founded in 1771 by San Junipero Serra.
Okay, so this is fiery of conflagration of the cities, plague number 2. All the churches are being burned down. Brothers and sisters, you saw the fire in West Coast, California, and the West Coast of this country, Oregon, Colorado, Idaho, all of the West Coast in Washington State. Okay.
Firefighters responded to the call at 4:24 a.m.
Look at this. This is damage. This is damage, brothers and sisters. This is the work of the Most High.
On Saturday, July 11th. Archbishop Jose Gomez tweeted about the fire, asking for the intercession of Saint Junipero. Saint Junipero has become a point of attack during recent protests in the United States.
Your saint, your fake saint, has no power. We are the real saint. The Israelites, we are the real saints, just like the Israelites are the real descendant of the Atlantean, the righteous bloodline of Seth. We are those people. We are the true Hebrews. We have many brothers and sisters. We have the Hebrew Junctonite, the Hebrew Midianite, the most famous one, Jethro, who trained Moses. We have many cousins out there. All of you are good people, okay? All right? Well, some of you. All right, let's move on.
The Spanish Franciscan priest converted thousands of native Californians to Christianity.
Yeah, converted my ass. They actually beat, raped, and robbed them and forced the mark of the beast upon them, and forced the 666 upon them, and forced the chip on their asses. That's what it was. They forced it. They didn't convert them. They forced them.
Pope Francis canonized him.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. The Pope, Master Mahan in the middle, and you see the members. Those are Mahan. Okay. Whether they are Catholic priests or pastor, Protestant, they are all members of the Church of Mahan. Okay, all the churches come from the Catholic churches, which is the main devil, that bastard witch, that whore.
While in the United States in 2015, recalling how the saint defended the dignity of the Native community. Meanwhile, in Ocala, Florida, the Marion County Sheriff's Office reported someone set fire to Queen of Peace Church just before Sunday morning Mass on July 12th.
See, things like that happen because people getting fed up with those guys. They're getting fed up. They get fed up because what happened is those guys told those people, listen, before all of those burning, all of those disease, all of those protests happen, white Jesus gonna come out of the sky and he's going to rapture you. And those people are not being raptured. And they pay you money to tell them things like that. So now, after all those money that I give you, and I find out now I'm going to hell instead of going to the heaven, I'm gonna burn down your freaking church. All right?
The police allegedly found a car crashed into the front of the church. The suspect then poured gasoline in the narthex and lit it on fire before escaping in the same vehicle. No parishioners were wounded. The suspect was arrested and is in Marion County Jail.
Look at this dude's face. Brothers and sisters. Oh. Brothers and sisters, look at this dude's face. Doesn't this dude look like Cesare Borgia? That yellow dot in his. Does that dude look like Cesare Borgia? This is the Gentiles going at each other's throats. Brothers and sisters, this is easau's'trouble. This is not Jacob's trouble. We already went to Jacob's trouble. Be at peace. Okay, may peace be among you. I am a dog and I'm barking at the sheep, telling the sheep that the covenant has been restored. Father, turn his face upon you. Worship him, fear him, give him all praises and definitely all credit. Everything that you see here, this is his work. He made this scumbag, went to that church and then set it on fire. All praises to the Most High. All credit go to him. This is a chess game. The Most High is the master chess player. Let's move on.
On no bond. The Boston Police Department is currently investigating an arson of a statue of the Blessed Mother at St. Peter's Parish Church in Dorchester on Saturday, July 11th.
Look, brothers and sisters, for those of you who didn't know, the Catholic Church started worshiping the Virgin Mary, so to speak. I know a lot of you gonna put your comment, why you call it a virgin and all that. I know, douche, calm down. Now, they were worshiping Mary first. Then when people start reading the Bible, some of them say, okay, well, what about little Jesus? And they start worshiping baby Jesus. Then there was a conflict. Then they split. The Protestant, the quote-unquote Christian, which is the same thing as a Catholic. I don't know why you people are acting like you better than the other, but you guys are the same thing. So the Christians start worshiping grown-ass men, white Jesus. It's the same thing. Idolatry. So somebody set these things on fire. Okay? Oh.
They report an unknown suspect lit the plastic flowers and the Madonna's hands on fire, resulting in burning on the statue's face and upper body. Another statue of Mary was vandalized on Friday, June 10th at 3:09 a.m. at Cathedral Prep School and Seminary in New York. The statue, which had been at the entrance of the all-boys school for more than 100 years.
All-boys school, brothers and sisters, if you've been following this channel, well, if you've been alive at all, You should know all boys school. You know, that's like what's the way to put this very gently? All boys school is like a slaughterhouse for little boys' lamb. It's a slaughterhouse for little boys' butt. Because that's what those guys are doing over there. You've seen the news. Taking those little boys' innocence as a slaughterhouse. That's what it is. Those guys don't do nothing in there but raping. Well, you know, molesting too. But hey, it's all fall in that category. Because the priest of Mahan, that's all those guys do. All right, let's move in.
Had the word idol written on its front. It was cleaned Friday morning by staff. The Diocese of Brooklyn announced that the New York Police Department is currently investigating the case. These acts of vandalism come
Again, every single time they have to show some of us here. You always will find that one damn Negro dressing with the mark of the beast on his chest, walking around, preaching. Look at this Negro. Look at this fool right here.
Returning to churches in many states after the lockdown and closure of parishes.
Yeah, my ass. So your God ain't got no power. Look what's going on. Okay? You don't know what those guys been doing with their hands.
Due to coronavirus.
And then
the
you're
actions
torching.
Also coincide with protests and the removal of various historical statues across the United States, spurred by the death of George Floyd.
Again, thank you to the Holy Spirit for bringing us this information. All right, brothers and sisters, let's move to the next videos. All right?
Can you tell us what you're seeing there? How bad is it?
Well, the good news is that this motel appears to...
And good morning. That breaking news just north of downtown. Crews are fighting a fire at a motel off of Brick Church Pike. And our Hannah McDonald just got to the scene. So, Hannah, tell us what you're seeing there. How bad is it?
Well, the good news is that this motel appears to not have had anyone in it and not have been occupied for several years. This is the American Inn. You may recognize that name if you drive I-24 inbound to Nashville. Behind me is the office that they say is where the fire originated. You can see the smoke at the top of the roof. It is taking over the sky here. It looks like the roof has collapsed.
Brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike. What you're seeing here is called the plague number 2, fiery conflagration of the cities. A motel is part of a city. And lately, brothers and sisters, we've been seeing like a bunch of houses exploded, as if they had like some type of gasoline or like no gas, air gas leak, gas leak, and then they just blew up. All over New Jersey and California, down here in Florida, pretty much everywhere. Fiery conflagration of the cities. Let's move to the next one.
Following his comment that he would be visiting a sacred place, he left the White House and walked with his attorney general, his chief of staff.
Look at this. Look at this. Brothers and sisters, look at this image right here. Have you ever seen anything like this before? A U.S. Is that? So I heard something, but I think that was the cat. The U.S. president walking around with a bunch of graffiti, vandalism. Oh, I like that number, 12. I wonder what that 12 stands for. But look, justice, peace for 12.
Staff, the Secretary of Defense, his press team, his daughter, and his son-in-law across Lafayette Park, the area of the nation's capital that had just moments before that been cleared with tear gas and rubber pellets.
For those of you who don't know, when Trump was doing this, he was sending a message to his white supremacists to, when he hold the Bible upside down, he was telling his white supremacists to start hanging black folks, black men upside down, because they were hoping when they were doing this, they would have bring much fear into the cowards, and which they did, some of the Negro cowards, and they will not protest, and it got worse. When he hold the Bible upside down, he meant to tell them, hang them, start hanging them. Right after this, you will find a bunch of reports of black men being found hanging, and they keep calling it suicide because Trump sent the signal right here. That was a white supremacist signal. He hung the Bible upside down, which means hang them.
Where peaceful protesters had been. The president here is appearing in front of St. John's Church. It's known as the President's Church. Every president has attended services there. President Trump and his family went to a service on Inauguration Day at St. John's Church, and it sustained a fire overnight. The president's former director of national intelligence and ambassador to Germany tweeted that this is a moment of hope triumphing over fear. But intended or not, Andrew, this does send another message that the president is willing to do whatever is within his power to vacate premises as needed. Here he is returning to the White House in a pretty remarkable image, flanked on either side by law enforcement, followed by his staff after that visit to St. John's Church across the park. Andrew?
You don't just walk up around the park and take a picture for nothing. People thought that was like, oh my God, he's stupid. No, he sent a signal. He sent a message. He hung a lot. Those white supremacists were going around and hung a lot of our people, and they paid for it dearly. That happened like since June. Did it get any better? You can't stop what's going on right now. This is your trouble. They actually burned down a part of this church. They set it on fire. So they didn't show it, but yes, they did. All right, let's move to the next video.
В этом смысле насилие между различными
All right, so that's in Berlin, which is let me see if I can all right. Let me see if I can. That's Berlin, Germany. So those churches, they keep setting those churches on fire. Okay, those churches are being caught on fire worldwide. This is Germany and Berlin. I believe Berlin is like the capital. I never say Berlin. I always say Berlin. You know, as the Germans. But the point is, those churches are being caught on fire because somebody is setting those churches on fire. Okay. And you can see those guys are trying to save the fire and do things like that because whether the fire was natural or it was arson, it's fire. It's the second plague of the apocalypse of Abraham. All right? That's what it was, brothers and sisters. Let's move to the next video. All right? Be at peace, brothers and sisters. There'll be no Jacob's trouble. This is Esau's trouble. All right? Look at this. Look at this. Brothers and sisters. Holy mother. Oh, look at this. That's a church. Holy mother. Oh, God. That thing. Woo. This is beautiful. This is the... Oh, man. Look at... This is the angel, the barrier right there. Oh man, let's just enjoy this video for a while. Oh man, this is beautiful. Little churches. Oh man, that's the barrier doing our work. Those people are being destroyed, brothers and sisters. Be at peace. This is not Jacob's trouble. This is Esau's trouble. They gave us 400 years of trouble. The Bible said, give unto her double. We're going to give them 800 years plus interest. 200, 1,000 years of hardcore slavery. While we are giving them that 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, we'll be rested, brothers and sisters. You will have technology that you never thought exists, because the Most High is going to bring those technology to you. And Atlantis, Lemuria, is going to be popped up above surface again. It's going to be emerged instead of submerged, because it's underwater now. We got more land. We got land all over, brothers and sisters. Atlantis rejoice. They leave off a clue. Okay, the riddle that the brother Big Judah brought us. That's what the riddle mean. Under shall show. Okay, the first will be last and the last will be first. Those people are going through the trouble. All right, we enjoyed this display of the angel, the barrier. She was doing her thing here. You can check her out in the book of the remembrance of our grandmother. All right. So not only this, we will leave this video here because I really like it. Not only this, brothers and sisters, let's there was a gunman. Remember that incident over there in Texas? You know, while they were praying, and then one dude inside of the church, you know, he was shot. He shot 2 people. Okay, but he chose to shoot a Negro. Okay, that's the dude right there, and I believe they already shoot him. Okay, and then he pulled a shotgun. Okay, on the Negro.
With parishioners, preliminary reports said that he entered the church and sat down with parishioners. He got up from that position, pulled out a shotgun, and fired it at a parishioner. That parishioner is deceased. There was a security team inside the church
who took him down.
Eliminated the threat.
Yeah, they took him down. They took the guy down.
Tragically, like I said, there are 2 people that were shot, and they died at a local hospital.
Yep. Yeah, the Negro, he shot the black man first. Okay, yeah, because he was a member of the priest of Mahan.
The suspect is deceased. The threat was stopped thanks to the quick and heroic actions of those safety members inside the church.
Yeah, so this is what it is. Now you're gonna go to church, and you're gonna have to make sure you go to this church with a freaking gun, because you know, crazy ass mofo and demons gonna go in there, and then they kill this member of the priesthood of Mahan, because they actually saw the footage, like, you know, they shot and killed him. All right, inside of a church. That means that showed you your church has no power. You know, the bullet was supposed to bounce off of your belly, but somehow it got inside of you and tear you apart. You know, this is a horrible thing, but hey, it happened.
This church had its own security team.
Why would you need security team in a church? What the hell is that? Why would you need armed security? Guy with gun. You already know I used to do security, brothers and sisters. I had my own, boy, what a failure, security company. But what I never had to do security with the gun in the church. Now you see security, armed security gun with their gun. They are at the synagogue, especially all of them down here in Florida. Okay, now in the churches, what's going on? Because you have no power. Your God has no power.
They were well trained.
Brothers and sisters, the face that you're looking at right now is the face of disappointment. This is the face of fear. This is a face of trouble. Does this guy look anything like somebody that's going to bring some trouble? Those people in the background, those old relics, those 6 hicks, do they look like people that's going to bring Jacob's trouble? Do they look like people that's going to go back on top of the world again? Listen. Stop listening to those Gentiles are telling you to stock gold and silver, so when H went down, so you can be on top of the world again. In the book of Jeremiah, they told you those scumbags will just cast their gold and silver in the street. Brothers and sisters, rejoice. The covenant has been restored. Hear the barking. The covenant has been restored. There will be no Jacob's trouble. This is Esau's trouble. This is the Gentiles' tribulation.
The heroism today is unparalleled.
Yeah, my ass. Unparalleled, man. Let's get rid of this dude, man. Those people like to suck their own. All right, let's go there. Let's go here.
That church has been involved in some recent controversies as a result of the pandemic. Fox 13's Tom Dees is live in Holly Springs. Tom, you...
State and federal investigators have been called in to investigate a fire they believe was intentionally set at the First Pentecostal Church in Holly Springs, Mississippi.
That church has been involved in some recent controversies as a result of the pandemic. Fox 13's Tom Dees is live in Holly Springs. Tom, you spoke to the pastor. Does he have any idea who would have done this?
Daryl, he tells me no, he does not. He also tells me that he was in East Tennessee visiting.
Okay, for those of you who just joined me or just this is your first time, there are certain reporters, certain people that I can't pass. Like this dude. I can't pass that dude. This dude is slanted. I just can't pass him. He has a giant belt buckled, which faces way too much on his right side, and you can't hear anything he's saying. Anyway, man, this church is being burned down because what happened when they sent the order for all people to close down, so they want to spread the coronavirus, quote unquote, the virus. They actually opened it, defined it, and somebody set them on fire.
Family at the time, with his family at the time, and they had to make a quick trip back here. As far as the headlines that the church has been involved in, we don't know at this point if that has anything to do with this apparent arson.
No, it has everything to do with it.
It's just hard to wrap your head around.
Brothers and sisters, look at the face of this dude. Please tell me if this is the face of somebody that is ready to take over. This face that you are looking at, brothers and sisters, does it look like the face of somebody that's going to bring some type of trouble? This is the face of dejection. This is the face of sorrow, the first plague of the apocalypse of Abraham. Let's pull it up right here. Sorrow. This is the first plague. Sorrow for much needs. Let's define the word sorrow. Define sorrow.
Here's the definition of sorrow. A feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by oneself or others.
Sadness, unhappiness, dejection, regret, depression, and misery. Brothers and sisters, that's the face that you're looking at, is right here. That's the face that you are looking at right now. This is the face of sorrow. Let the man grieve.
The idea that someone may have orchestrated this or done this.
Pastor Jerry Waldrop is trying to make sense of what happened to his Holly Springs church early Wednesday morning. It's not the first time the church has made headlines recently. It recently filed a federal lawsuit against Holly Springs after the city cited Waldrop for violating the stay-at-home order by having services in the church instead of a drive-up service on a stormy Easter Sunday.
Yes, remember that Easter Sunday garbage they were doing back then? Look what the Messiah did to them. This guy didn't want to close up his church because he didn't believe the virus was real, like most of the people out there, including our own people. They keep following and saying the same thing that the Gentiles are saying. It's not real. Bill Gates trying to come up with the vaccine. We already told you there will be no such thing as that. There'll be no such thing as 666. There'll be no such thing as a chip they're going to shove down right up your ass. There'll be no such thing as a vaccine. They already have some bootleg vaccine, something they're going to try, but they're going to fall miserably. Those people are done. This is easau's'trouble. Let it rip.
The church claims the restrictions violates its First Amendment rights. To prove a point, Waldrop's congregation recently walked into Walmart on a Sunday to show that people are allowed to gather at the store, but not in church. Waldrop would not give permission to use YouTube video of the protest because he said it might dredge up too much negative attention.
No, that's not what it is. You scumbag don't listen for hish. You always disobey orders. You always put yourself above everybody. But when something like that to you coward, you bastards went back into that wall you slid out of. I don't want anybody to see this video. They might target one of my people. Of course they would.
The pastor would not speak to either incident. He says he has no idea who would have possibly set his church on fire.
Of course you will have no idea. You will have no idea. You don't have any enemy. Do you really believe? You didn't even think like, hey man, what if I open this church and a member of my a family member of my church got quote unquote the COVID and that person died. I don't know if that person have any family. If that person does, however, would it make sense if one of those people will come after my ass? You never thought about that, right? You just do whatever the hell you want to do, because this is brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike. That's what the Gentile does. They shoot now, they ask questions later. They say things now, they apologize later. They rape you and rob you now, and then they apologize later. Well, and then they never did apologize. They claim victim, like, yo, while I was doing the raping, you were enjoyed. I did not. You had an orgasm. I did not. It's your fault. I'm a rapist. You let me rape you. You should have fought. That's what those guys are. And then now they are when the sheriff come, I don't want you guys to show this. I got family member. I don't want them to get targeted. Get the hell out of here, man.
Who knows? I mean, you know, the investigation's going on, and we're just waiting to see what they tell us.
Church members hugged and cried in the parking lot.
Hug and cry. This is not the face of somebody. This is not a movement. This is not a proper display of hope, a proper display of pride, a proper display of somebody that's going to take over the world. We got next, baby. You don't.
As investigators sifted through the rubble for clues to figure out who might have done this.
Her name is Debariel, the Angels of Fire. She did this.
Kind of racked our brains, and we have no idea.
Of course you won't. And first and foremost, first of all, in the first place, you do not have what they call a brain, sir. If you did, you would have never opened your church. You would have never done that stupid thing. You think like just because you live in a neighborhood or in town like that is loaded with backwarded hicks just like you think everybody's as much as stupid as you are? Some people will harm you, man, because you're stupid. Because if they don't do this, you're going to spread that thing where they stay at.
No enemies that we know of.
Yeah, whatever, man. Anyway, let's get rid of this dude because those guys are backwarded stupid. All right. Ooh, okay, brothers and sisters, we're done with part two. Okay, this fire is beautiful, man. This fire is beautiful. It's beautiful, man. Anyway, so now this is the second plague of the apocalypse of Abraham. Brothers and sisters, before we move probably to part 3, we want to tell everybody that listening right now, Jews and Gentiles alike, be at peace. If this truth go through you, it pierced your heart, it melted your heart, and you are happy. You rejoice because there will be no Jacob's trouble. You rejoice, this is Esau's trouble. You rejoice, this is the Gentiles' tribulation. Be at peace. Don't you ever say the elite are doing this. Don't you ever say the elite have some type of weapon. They are controlling the weather. They are controlling the sun. They are shooting lasers. They come up with the COVID-19. Don't you ever say this. Always give Father full credit. He's in control. He's the one that doing this. The horrible and terrible God. Never fear what the Gentiles fear. Never say what they said. You know better than them. Look, never wrestle with a freaking pig because it's a pig. Forgive the pig. It's a pig. Forgive the pig. They are pigs, man. The Gentiles are a bunch of freaking pigs, man. The heathens are pigs. Forgive them. They're supposed to act like this. They're supposed to fear. They're supposed to say, God is not doing this. Elon Musk is doing this. God is not doing this. Jeff Bezos is doing this. God is not doing this. Our Father is not doing this. Bill Gates is doing this because Bezos, Bill Gates, and that other fellow, they all look like them. That means they are God. They are doing this. Those Gentiles, in any shape or form, they have no technology that can accomplish anything like that. If you ask Bill Gates right now to boil water, or to choose death or boil water, he will choose death. He have no idea how to boil water. This guy barely can take a shower by himself. Those guys can barely type a phone number in their phone. They can barely write a phone number and a piece of notepad or a piece of paper. Those guys are backwarded and stupid. And we explained to you, they got their technology over there in the Holy Highland called Haiti. They went to the cave and then they cut deals with entities. Sounds crazy, man. Buckle up. There's some crazy hair shit. Buckle up, okay? You can go ahead to our channels, brothers and sisters. Okay, you can click on that little icon right there. Well, no, actually, I can do this. You can, because you know it's my channel. But when you come up on my channel, first thing first, this video should have been playing. But go to About. Okay, in the About, I am a humble member of the priesthood of Mahan, Biglevipriest. So I am nothing but a dog the Most High sent to gather sheep. Please. I am not a high priest, some type of spiritual advisor, some deep dude. No. I am the dude that would probably swagger jack and swindle you out of a bunch of money if you keep coming at me with this garbage about like pray. You come to me and show me some spiritual kundalini cataclysm stuff. Amen. Don't be coming to me at those things. I have no idea what they are. How to channel energy from your butt to your head. I don't know that. I'm not a spiritual advisor. I can give you guidance on certain things if you ask for proper proper definition, proper guidance. But don't be asking me for things and then when I'm give you the definition, you get mad or you want to fight. Okay, serving the Most High is probably the most difficult thing you will ever do in your life. You will find stumbling blocks. You will find difficulties. I'm willing to work with both my brothers and my sisters, no matter what. I do not have a choice in this. I'm a freaking dog, man. I have a mission, and my mission is to bark at the people and tell them the covenant has been restored. Worship Father. All praises and credit goes to Him. Stop doing what you're doing. Stop repeating after the Gentiles, and there'll be no Jacob's trouble. What you're experiencing right now is called esau'sblessingisdone. It's called the Gentiles' tribulation. All praises to the Most High. Yeah, I will see you guys in part 3. All praises to the Most High YAHAWAH, the Heavenly Father, in the name of the Holy Spirit, the earthly mother, sanctifying YAHAWAH, the Holy Son. Shalom. See you in part 3. Not quite sure yet.